I'm back. I waited so long to give you my big red overreaction because I had to watch the game 4 or 5 times just to make sure what I thought I saw. It looks like we're allergic to winning. Every time we get close to winning, we have an allergic reaction in the form of a dumb penalty at the wrong time, in the form of jumping off sides, in the form of not being disciplined. Stuff gonna happen in the game. But you control the controllables. Control the things that you can control. So I had to watch the game about 4 times. Highlights game, I watched the whole game like twice, but then I went back and watched the stuff that I liked and I didn't like. And there's a bunch. But are we allergic to winning? As a holistic, the Nebraska, the N in you, Skurs. We got a bunch to get to today. We got a ton to get to today. We got to hurry up because you know what? Oklahoma game is over. So I'm giving you my overreaction to this last past stupid game that just happened that we should have won. We should have won the game. Period. Point blank in the discussion. I don't even want to even talk about it. We should have won the football game. Thanks for joining me. I'm Vershawn Jackson. Straight from the Hip is brought to you by TyroneBird.com. Providing all your insurance needs in Nebraska, Arizona, and Colorado. Get the black shirt covers you need now. TyroneBird.com. Hit the website. Everybody on the website. TyroneBird.com. Get that black shirt coverage you need now. Not 1 time, 2 time, 3, but 4-time black shirt coverage. Momentum killers. That means things that kill the momentum and give it to your opponent. 8 penalties in the first half, or we had 8 penalties total, but first half I bet we had 7. Momentum killer. 4th and 18. 8 minutes and 16 seconds to go. Scores 23-9. Plenty of time. I thought we were on about the 25, 28. Hey, listen, ride or die with your kicker. You have no backup. Where is he? Who's the backup? Where's the backup? Where's the depth? At kicker. One of the most important positions like quarterback. That's a huge position. Chris Brown, Josh Brown. You want me to keep Brian Bennett? I can keep going on and on. Teddy Retzloff. Now, Teddy Retzloff was a punter, so I can't say Teddy. Love you, Teddy. 3-time champ, buddy. Brother. But momentum killers. Through the interception that'll be on the ESPY Awards right now because the guy made a Superman interception. Kudos to him for making that interception. But then, to add insult to injury, we missed 2 field goals. 6 points. 6 points. I really count that 4th and 18 with 8:16 to go, and it was 23-9, because I think you should have let him try it again. Forget it. Keep letting him try it. Instead of throwing it up for grabs, let him try it again. Maybe he'll get out his slump. But as a coach, I got to get into his mind. If I got to smack him around, I'm going to get into his mind. You're going to do something different, buddy. Whatever your little pregame ritual is before you get ready to go kick, We changing that. Do something different. Because something ain't working. And it's all in your mind, young pup. It's in your mind. It's all in your mind. You don't go from Big Ten to missing all over the place unless it's a mental block. We need to figure out what that mental block is for the young man and get him over that mental block so that he can make some of these field goals. But you don't take him out of the game if you ain't got nothing better than that. If that's the best you got, you better ride or die with him. There's no reason to go somewhere else, look at somebody else, knowing this guy's a true freshman. Don't even put the pressure on him like that. I was going to ask that question, where is the kicker? Who's the backup kicker? But there is no backup, which is unbelievable to me. So, 2 missed field goals, 6 points. Field goal block and taking backs for 2 points. That's 8 points. I ain't going to say nothing else. Actually, I forgot about the other 3 points with the 4th and 18 because you didn't try it, so you don't know. So that's 11 points. We left 11 points out on the field at least. I ain't going nowhere else. 11 points out on the field. You got to play with what you got. And I would believe we better go get the best field goal kicker in high school because he's got a job that he can get immediately. Chris Brown, call somebody up, buddy. Call somebody up for us. Man. My post-game overreaction. My thoughts on the game. Does preseason rank mean anything? Answer that question for me. Does preseason rank mean anything? We'll come back to that. Listen, Adrian Martinez. I got to take my hat off to the young man. I thought he played one of his best games, just as far as complete games. Yeah, he made a couple mistakes. Yeah, he got sacked because we broke down and we're going 6 against 3 or 5 against 3 and we still lose. I don't think we should ever lose when we got more linemen and tight ends and backs than they have defensive rushers. This is interior. It means 3. They only had 3. I'm saying it again, 3 people rushing the ball. Adrian Marr had all day. He had all day. I'm just going to call him A-Mark because homeboy was shucking, jiving, in, out. I mean, his spidey senses was tingling all over the place, and he was getting out of some stuff that the mere mortals don't get out of. So, as a quarterback, for me, and hopefully I'm not speaking too soon, but he came out yesterday. He came out and I think solidified his name, definitely in the top 20 right now of Husker quarterbacks, despite the stats. I'm just talking quarterbacks themselves and what they bring to the table because it's not all about stats. If you didn't win games, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to put you up there, you know what I'm saying? But there are some certain quarterbacks who just didn't have good teams around them. And I think you got a good team around you, but your nucleus guys, the guys who are supposed to be protecting you, are not very good right now. And they have to make a better decision on we're going to play. Listen, Cam Jurgens, I can live with the 2 penalties. I can live with them because he was making a football play. He was being aggressive. He just played a little bit too long. And the way that they were doing what they were doing to us, Cam Jurgens, thanks for getting a little get back. I wish more of you guys would have got a little get back like Big Cam Jurgens was doing. I wish everybody would have been fighting like junkyard dogs like Cam Jurgens was fighting like a junkyard dog. He was throwing people down, same way Oklahoma players was throwing people down. After the whistle, double teaming, after the whistle. Pick blocking, after the whiffs, Stoops. Shout out to you, little dude. That's the second coming of Vetty Ved, man. I'm telling you, the little Stoops. If you get a chance, watch this little dude. This dude is he's so sneaky. You can't even they don't even account for him. You got to account for that little joker. I almost called him something because he's running around decapitating linebackers and defensive backs in the form of trying to look like a pick route. It's nothing but a pick. Okay, it's a crack block on a pass. And it just so happened to go behind the line of scrimmage because his route got deviated. But it was still a chicken shit block. Period. Just depends who's the chicken shit. The one that was getting blocked or the one that did the blocking. Because I can tell you right now, whoever he blocked, he laid him out. If anything in this football, that would have been a blindside hit. Defensive player. Never saw it coming. Nope. That's why I said it's Oklahoma week. That means you got to play the refs too. You can't just play the players and the coaches on Oklahoma's team. If you in Oklahoma's house, you got to play the refs too. Yeah. Listen, it's the Big 12 versus the Big 10. Why would they let Nebraska come in and win? Nebraska is a better football team than Oklahoma. I don't care that they're the number 3 team in the country. Nebraska is a better football team. They was running the 3-man front, and they did the exact same thing running the 3-man front against Tulane. Tulane put up big points on them. Big points. But my positives are Adrian Martinez took a step in the right direction. He really did. He fought, and I think he encouraged his guys to fight a little harder as well. I thought as a team, we fought. Definitely on offense. We fought as hard as we could. I thought ball control was huge in not letting that game get out of control. You can listen, if you keep he who keeps the ball longest, a lot of times wins the game. Which I think they had about 3 minutes past what we did, 39-36. Something similar to that. Anyway, thought that was a step in the right direction. 384 yards against a top 50 defense. They're not a top 10 defense. They're a top 50. Tulane put up almost 400 or 500 yards on them. So I can't call them a top 20 defense. They're top 50, okay, defense. So we put up 384 yards on them, and we left a lot of yards out on that football field. A lot. We left out on that football field. Omar Manning, his coming out day, a couple catches and one that was big. It was a strike that A-Mark threw, and it was sweet. You got big fella, you're going to have to step up way more and all the time, a little bit more often. We need you. We need you, buddy. You're big, fast, strong. We need you in the blocking game, too. I thought the fact that they ran a similar offense to what we run was good. Rattler was good, but he wasn't as good as they could have been. They abandoned the running game. Negatives. Where was our running game? I mean, when I say that, I mean we had 95 total yards on the ground against the 3-man front. That ain't going to get it done in the Big Ten. Because the Big Ten, guess what? They always in 4-man fronts. Probably bringing 5, 6, or 7. So, if you can't handle a 3-man front, guess what? Here comes some more fronts for you. And you better be ready to block. And the fight that Cam Jurgens fought, that game he played, how much fire he played with, y'all all better play with that fire. Better figure out what fire that is that he got and figure it out within the constraints of the game. Don't cost the team. Cam, stop on the whistle. Some stuff you can't, but most stuff you can. stop on the whistle. You can be aggressive. Stop on the whistle, buddy. But you got to get your buddies around you to play like you. Say what you will. We got all of those penalties and still almost won the game. All that stuff happened. Picks, sacks, and still almost won the game. Maybe it was OU had an off day. I don't know, but the better team didn't win that game. We need to take some type of pill so we're not allergic to winning. Maybe get the shot. Two dropped interceptions. Remember, one of my keys to victory was we needed to get 3 interceptions. One we needed to take back to the house. Well, we had an opportunity to get 2. 2 interceptions would have done it. Just like I said, Rattler threw it up into triple coverage. We didn't get it. Should have got it. We should have got it. My TyroneBird.com player of the game for me on defense was Luke Reimer. Luke Reimer, man. The only thing I'm going to say, Luke, is big-time players make big-time plays in big-time situations. And you're a big-time player. You got to squeeze that ball, buddy. Had a chance to make a pick, you got to squeeze it. And then last but not least, tough tackle, but you can't be an ankle biter on the goal line. You got to stand him up in the hole. That means chest to chest, face mask to face mask. Stand him up. Don't try to get low and go for his ankles and his leg. Now's the time. That was the type of collisions we were having in practice. See, that collision. Football is a game of inches. And if you got that collision, offense against defense, and the defensive player stops him in his tracks on the 1 yard line, it doesn't matter, buddy. That's what it's all about. Football's a game of inches. You know, that running back won that war. Luke Reimer's still my guy. He made tackles for losses. He was all over the field. I love his energy. Thought the defensive line played well. 97. I think he's from Oklahoma. He played pretty doggone good as far as knowing how to get off and go back and make plays. Even though the ball's on the other side, he was running all the way across the field making plays. It was nice to see that. All 11 guys have to do that. We can't be sitting back watching stuff happen. We got to make it happen. Period. So I did one thing to one piece of concern that I have is I think in the fourth quarter, I mean, they gashed us in the run game. Why they abandoned the run game? I don't know. But they gashed us in the run game. I think they got 194 yards on the ground. I don't know. Just saying. I'm just saying. Just saying. Okay? So, our defense gave up 408 yards to a good offense, but they didn't have big plays down the field. You know, I'd imagine if they had huge plays that, man, it would have been worse than that, but they didn't. You know, and the funny thing is we averaged 6.1 yards per play. They averaged 5.9 yards. That's what, 2 yards? What am I talking about? That's 1 yard. Not even. Point something yard. The math is off. 1. That's per play, though. So we average, every time we did something, we averaged a little bit better than them. Talk about our injuries. Let's talk about the injuries real quick, because at the end of the day, you know what? That was Oklahoma. We played them extremely well, better than anybody gave us a chance to play them. I said if we played a perfect game, we would win. We didn't have to be perfect, and we still could have won that game. You cannot go into an Oklahoma game thinking that the refs are going to give you a call, thinking that you're going to get some help from anybody besides the guys that are in that locker room and the guys that are coaching you. You're not going to get any more help than that, period. Got the end. Now we got that out the way. 0-0. Back to zeros again. We got Michigan State coming in. Okay? We got Michigan State. So let's talk about what happened from the Oklahoma game as far as I got to go back, okay? Because I didn't like a couple things that really bothered me in this Oklahoma game. One was we had guys on our team that was getting blown off the ball 15 yards into the end zone. Caleb Tanner. At some point, you got to just pick one of them out and maybe fight with him a little bit. Not beat him up, but fight with him with your hands. Push, pull. You know? JP and them ain't showed y'all the push, pull. Jay Foreman and them. They ain't showed y'all the push, pull techniques. Tell them to show you the push, pull techniques, you know? Because you can't get blown off the ball 15 yards. That was that goal line play. And I don't know who's the defensive back, but the defensive back got hit so hard, he just looked at the guy like, man, why you hit me like that? While he watched Caleb Tanner get his ass kicked all the way to the end zone 15 yards. Fellas, I just think y'all need to y'all need to just put the cam on your center. You need to put the cam on him, Jurgens, and just watch him for a while and say, hey, without the penalties, don't do the penalty part, but that's how to play football. So this is kind of bittersweet for me, but Gabe Irvin might be hurt. But Cam Taylor-Britt, I thought we lost. Those are two pieces of the puzzle that I think, they're two big pieces of our puzzle. But the next man got to step up. We might find somebody. Got to step up. Talking about stepping up, where the heck is Step? I don't think I've seen him. Where is he? What about Yant? Again, these big, strong running backs, man, you got to soften them up. And I get it. We run a different offense. I get that. But it's about to be Big Ten time. This ain't going to work in the Big Ten. You're going to have to run the ball in the Big Ten. I'm telling you. You're going to have to run the ball. Better coach. And they're bigger, stronger, faster, smarter. Big Ten. That Oklahoma team is not the number 3 team in the country. That's just my opinion. I figure they'll lose at least 2. That's just my opinion. If they play the way that they play in Nebraska. If that's who they truly are. If they're a better team and they just had a bad night, okay. And we had a great day, okay. But I didn't see it like that. Hats off to Zay Betts. I thought, man, that was big time game, son. Shout out Omaha. Austin Allen, we got to go to him just, man, so, a lot more. I would like to see him check down over the middle, especially this week. They've got good linebackers that we're going to be facing. But Austin Allen, great game, son. But my offensive, TyroneBird.com, player of the game goes to A-Mart. Adrian Martinez was just like going to Walmart, boy, you can go get anything. And he was doing it in any and all ways. And I thought he managed the game well. Yeah, he made mistakes. So what? He managed the game well. Lee, what would happen if we had Austin Allen, Oliver, Torrey, and the big guy and Betts out there at the same time? What would happen? That's scary. Again, I said Luke Reimer played his butt off. We had no interceptions. I don't even know if we had a turnover. I think we only had the turnover, but I don't think we got a turnover. They played clean football. We didn't. But again, I could be wrong. That's not the number 3 team in the country. I said it. You know me in my notes, baby. Yeah, I got them. You know, moving forward, we can't have bonehead plays that cost us, touchdowns, games, first downs, yards. We got to keep our head. We got to be smart. Coach Osborne always said, if you get your hands down, you'll get a penalty and it'll help us. It'll give us the momentum. But we can't be a momentum killer by that. We're not going to get calls on. We just look at it like this. You're not going to get calls. You're not. You're not going to get calls at all. Did I say that we have a backup kicker? Oh, dang, I'd have thought somebody would have transferred in to be the backup kicker at the University of Nebraska. Man, they had a lot of backup kickers that turned out to be good. Man, anyway, Michigan State. It's Monday. Throughout Oklahoma. Michigan State. Who, in my opinion, is a better football team than Oklahoma. They're a better football team. Here's why. They have a running back in Walker III that's amazing. His vision, his going into contact, his ball game. Listen, this is probably the best. This is the best running back that we've seen thus far. Hands down. He will be the best running back. They will look to get him the ball into the flats. They will look to get him in the run game. They like to get him in the screen game. They like to use Walker III. Okay? His backup is, what's his name? Ironhead Hayward's son. He's a backup running back there. Big boy. Will get out and block on the jet sweeps. He'll get out and block out front. And he's a load, man. He's a big-time load. The quarterback, oh my goodness, he's a gunslinger, Thorne. When I say that, take that with a grain of salt. If you play action and you got a man running wide open and you let the ball go, guess what? If it's a strike, you're a gunslinger. Amart was a gunslinger against OU. He has to be in order for us to win. But they got receivers. Really good receivers. Back to Walker III. He loves to cut it back. We've got to have our lanes because if he hit one of those cutbacks and he gets out, it could be 6. He loves to cut it back. They beat Miami 38-17. Listen, those preseason ranks count. I don't think so because Miami was ranked 14th in the preseason. Last week they were ranked 24th. They got beat again. They're not ranked at all. This is Michigan State beat. 38-17. They run a 4-man defensive front. They'll bring 5, 6, 7 players every single time. Every single time. Receivers are going to have to get open. Torrey and the fellas, they're going to have to get open. They're going to have to get open early. They're going to have to get open often. And I mean quick. They run good schemes. They're big up front. Our offensive line is going to have to. Gosh, I wish we could get into I formation sometimes. Put Yant at fullback and whoever you want to put back there at tailback. Run some trap plays. Just take it back to Little League football. Shout out to the Little Vikes, man. Do it again. We 4-0. Good job, boys. We're 4-0. Played a pretty good Gretna football team that coach is a little anal, but hey, it's Little League football. I guess that's what we do. When your career's over, you go coach Little League football and relive your career again. But Black Shirts are going to have to bring the pressure. We're going to have to get to them and sack Thorne. We're going to have to get to him. He's sackable. Miami got him about 4 or 5 times. But we got to get a turnover with the sack. Blackshirts are going to have to tackle the ball. You got to tackle the ball this week. And the player, and you got to gang tackle, and you're going to have to run to the ball because he cuts it back and he's gone. And he is the best back you guys will face all season. TyroneBird.com. You can catch them blitzing and hit them with a big play. They like to blitz. So if you catch them blitzing, you can hit them with a big play down the field. But we have to make some opportunities for ourselves in this football game. We're going to have to limit the mistakes in this football game. I'm not going to give away my pregame Michigan State. Oh, I'm going to give away some of it. I already have. They are balanced attack. They run the spread. They'll get under center. They'll do a lot of different things, but nothing that we haven't seen before. If we go out and play disciplined football, I think the rest will take care of itself. But we have to tackle well. We didn't tackle very good in that Oklahoma game. You might want to go back and watch that. We didn't tackle very well. We missed tackles, open field tackles. We need to be a little bit more aggressive. So, if anything, I hope that we take being aggressive from this OU game. I hope that we'll take, moving forward, that game is over, but that you got to fight every play, every down within the constraints of the whistle. Anything else you do will cost you the game. Anything else you do will cost you a first down, will cost you yards. Football is a game of inches. Back to the drawing boards. Get in your playbooks. Watch film. The great ones, I wasn't great at this. This is something I wish I would have done more of. But I would have watched film. I think I'm watching film now because I didn't watch film back then. But film. Watch the film. Watch the tape. Watch your opponent. See what they're going to do. See what they do. We have an opportunity to knock off another ranked team. Let me end with this. What you do speaks so loud. You never have to open up your mouth. You got that, dog? Signing off. 3-time national champ, Rashawn Jackson, Dr. Clairvoyant, straight from the hip. TyroneBird.com, dog.